All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with one of the coolest revolvers I've had out to the channel for a very long time, the Smith & Wesson 617 chambered in 22 long rifle. I picked this guy up used and had it transferred through American Pawn and Gun located in Monroe, North Carolina. And if you happen to be in the area, swing by, check them out, and tell them 704 Tactical sent you over. They've got a great selection of new and used firearms as well as ammunition in stock and some good deals on some Defender ammo right now. So check out APG and tell them 704 Tactical sent you over. They also have really good transfer rates. I've been wanting something like this for a very long time, a higher than normal capacity, larger frame 22 long rifle revolver, more of a target or range pistol. Now, I'm pretty sure that's about the only feasible use for something like this, other than an exemption I would say for small game hunting, up close in and around camp, a little varmint getter because this thing is a tack driver. Now again, I did pick this up used, but it was in fairly good shape. It had a few scuffs and dinks, but overall, I didn't buy this for a safe gun. I bought it for a shooter, and man, did I shoot this thing. Probably about 500 rounds in the very first range trip, and then I've shot it some since then. We started just shooting this thing up close and realized its potential at a distance. But before we talk about its performance, let's talk about the basic specs and features of this revolver. The revolver itself is an all-steel frame gun and incredibly heavy. It's very similar to a 686 in size and weight, but a little bit different because this actually holds 10 rounds of 22 long rifle. The sights on this guy are pretty slick and they are adjustable for windage and elevation, and they are a target style sight. Now, the previous owner had painted the front sight post orange. I'll probably clean that up a little bit. And overall, I've done nothing to this gun but take it out, oil it, and start shooting. It came with these rubberized grips that are incredibly ergonomic, and overall, I'm incredibly impressed at the way this handles. Now, this is a little bit front heavy since it does have such a large and heavy barrel with a full underlug. Everything about it, though, operates very smoothly. The slide release works, the shell ejectors work, and sometimes even with dirty 22s, especially when you shoot a lot, things start to bind up after a while. But after 500 rounds of that initial range trip, we had no issues with anything binding up on this gun. Everything still worked just as fluid as when I first pulled it out of the box. So now I have this loaded up with a few snap caps because I want to show you guys the trigger, and dry firing at 22 is not really recommended. The single action is incredibly crisp and clean and light. Look at that single action mode. One of the nicest triggers I felt on a 22 period ever. This thing hands down performs, and the double action mode is incredibly smooth and it works really well. You guys can see those 4 snap caps, and they eject super smooth, and the normal rounds eject super smooth as well. Now, I've already talked about most of the basic specs and features, and there's not a ton more to this other than its performance down at the range and how it's shot. And trying to describe that on camera may be a little bit difficult, but I can tell you guys this is one of the most accurate handguns I own. We started off again shooting at 3 to 7 yards of basic concealed carry distance, stretched it out to 25 yards, and soon realized that we could play a game of horse at 50 yards. And very regularly we were hitting 6-inch plates at 50 yards with this gun. I couldn't believe the accuracy I was getting out of this handgun. The very long sight radius and very crisp sight picture, as well as the overall feel of the gun, allowed me and my cameraman to hit some insane targets at some insane distances. I probably think this is the most accurate handgun in my hands anyways that I own. I just couldn't believe what we were hitting. That probably also has to do with a lot of the fact that you have 10 rounds in the cylinder to practice. I mean, what pistol do you normally go out to the range with and shoot 500-600 rounds in one sitting? Not many, I would imagine. Now, I do that more than most because I review firearms. But still, in one sitting, I generally don't go through 500 rounds. But with this, in about 40 minutes, we were done with an entire brick of ammo. And this thing was a tack driver with basic ammunition. That goes to reliability. We had no issues with the cylinder binding up. We used about 3 or 4 types of ammunition, although we didn't use those extensively. After the range trip, I've shot CCI Standard, Winchester Bulk Pack, Federal Bulk Pack, and then CCI Mini Mags, and it all worked great out of this revolver. So again, I'm about 6 to 650 total rounds in since I started filming this overview, and it's been 100% functional with every type of ammunition. If you guys are looking for a little varmint getter for a camp gun or a little target shooter for the range, this is one of the best 22 long rifle revolvers I own, and I am so glad this is in my collection. It will never leave. This is staying with me till the end because this is such a great revolver. About the only negative is the price. These generally run a little bit, I've seen them anyways for right around $550 to $650, although I think you can find them cheaper. I found this one cheaper online, used anyways. But the new prices kind of fluctuate depending on where you get them. And again, I want to give a huge shout out to American Pawn and Gun, located in Monroe, North Carolina, for doing the transfer fee. Swing by and check these guys out. They're still open right now with everything that's going on. They're a great gun shop. So tell them 704 Tactile sent you over, and it'll save you some money. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.